Hello chickens! So, today I'm doing a video that I feel like a lot of people probably want because I'm not gonna lie, we're all nosy. Like, even if you don't want to admit it, everyone's a little bit nosy, and honestly, I'd love to know some of the inside like secret drama that goes on in other people's DRs. So I thought, why not make a video answering juicy questions that you guys want answered. So I went over to my Instagram and asked you guys to ask me any juicy drama, just questions that aren't usually answered on TikTok about my DR. And if you're new and you don't know who I am, hello, I'm Cass. I shift. My TikTok is cass.ralph1, which is where you'll find all of my shifting stories. But today I'm going to be going into the deep, juicy bits that I probably would not ever mention on TikTok due to community guidelines. So, I have a brownie, I have a coffee, and I have your guys' questions. Now, I got a lot of questions. I was not expecting thousands of questions, but I did get thousands of questions. So I will answer as many as I can with the widest variety, and also some of the ones that got asked the most. So let's get into spilling the tea. Literally reading some of these, I'm like, oh my god, I cannot answer that. Right, so let's start off a bit more innocent, and then we'll delve into the juicy stuff as we go on. How long have you and Draco been together? Well, it's about halfway through 5th year in my DR at the moment, and I got with Draco around November time in 4th year. So we've been together just over a year in my DR, which is amazing. Does Fred actually do the devil's tango with a lot of people like everyone says? Yes. Fred is the biggest hoe you'll ever meet. I mean, no judgment. If he can get the girls, go for it. But yes, George, on the other hand, isn't. George is very to himself. He's obsessed with Luna, which is probably why. I loved George all of 4th year. But 5th year, he's just been really, I don't know, just not secretive and possessive, but kinda. Like, he's just been, I don't know, I used to love George, but I think his jealousy over Blaze and Luna has got the better of him. Sorry, I can't speak. But yes, Fred sleeps with a lot of people. Which is why I don't really take him flirting with me as anything at all, because that's just him. That is just his personality. He does it because he wants to sleep with everybody. But it ain't gonna work on me. I mean, he's hot, but I could never go there because of Draco, obviously. Has Astoria always been a bitch? No. Literally, only became a bitch when Dean broke up with her. If some of you guys are new to me and my DR stories, beginning of 4th year, Dean and Astoria were dating. Now, this was like a long-term relationship. Apparently, I mean, I started in 4th year as a transfer student, so I don't have any memories or anything of being at Hogwarts prior to that, because I've scripted that I was a transfer student. But apparently they've been together since 2nd year, so they had been going out for 2 years. Then Dean broke things off with her because he wasn't feeling it anymore. They grew up. As they grew up, their differences really why can't I speak? Really shone through, and just fizzled out for him. But yeah, since Dean broke up with Astoria, she was addicted, and I mean literally obsessed with Draco, which is why she hates me so much. Like, the reason she copies me, the reason she tries so hard to make my life hell is because she wants Draco. She wants to look like me so Draco finds her attractive. Like, this is the whole point of it. It's nothing to do with her just wanting to copy me, it's because she wants Draco to find her as attractive as he finds me. So, can my neighbours like not do work right now? Thank you. But no, she hasn't always been a bitch. Has Astoria always been a bitch? No. Literally, only became a bitch when Dean broke up with her. If some of you guys are new to me and my DR stories, beginning of 4th year, Dean and Astoria were dating. Now, this was like a long-term relationship. Apparently, I mean, I started in 4th year as a transfer student, so I don't have any memories or anything of being at Hogwarts prior to that, because I've scripted that I was a transfer student. But apparently they've been together since 2nd year, so they had been going out for 2 years. Then Dean broke things off with her because he wasn't feeling it anymore. They grew up. As they grew up, their differences really why can't I speak? Really shone through and just fizzled out for him. But yeah, since Dean broke up with Astoria, she was addicted, and I mean literally obsessed with Draco, which is why she hates me so much. Like, the reason she copies me, the reason she tries so hard to make my life hell is because she wants Draco. She wants to look like me so Draco finds her attractive. Like, this is the whole point of it. It's nothing to do with her just wanting to copy me. It's because she wants Draco to find her as attractive as he finds me. So, can my neighbours like not do work right now? Thank you. But no, she hasn't always been a bitch. I didn't script any of this, but this is just how it's happened. Astoria is in my year. She is still younger than us, but she's so intelligent, she is a year ahead. There's a couple of people like that. Ginny, she's not a year ahead, but she takes a few classes with us 5th years, even though she's a 4th year. Now, Astoria is ungodly intelligent, so she takes classes with all the 5th years. She's a year ahead. She's not our age. She's still, and I feel like I didn't specify that enough in my TikToks, she is still a year younger, which I think in the books and the films, don't quote me on this because I honestly don't really care that much about Astoria, but I think she might be 2 years younger in the film and the books. But in my DR, she's only the year below us. She's the same year as Ginny, but she takes classes with our year. And Ginny, she also takes some classes with our year, but she still takes a few with her year. But that's besides the point. I'll get onto Ginny later. But yeah, so Astoria is in our year, but she is a year younger than us. So everyone was asking me about Daphne, and I'm not close with her at all. She is in my DR, but she isn't very relevant. Like, she's not in my friend group. And she doesn't really know anything about what Astoria's doing. I mean, obviously she can see that she looks like me because she looks like me, but she's never brought it up to me. She never brought it up to Pansy or anything. So, but yeah, she is there, but I haven't had much interaction with her. She seems nice. She doesn't seem as horrid as her sister. She just sort of keeps to herself. Does Draco sing in the shower? Yes, but he's an amazing singer. This is one thing that I did not expect from Draco. He has such like a deep, husky singing voice. You'd expect him to be like a famous like jazz singer. He has an amazing voice. He never sings in front of people. He'll sing in the shower, and I'll occasionally walk into his dorm and he'll be singing. But he will never like purposely sing in front of people, which is a shame because he really does have a good voice. When did you and Draco have sex for the first time? Now, I feel weird answering this and I don't know why. It was on my birthday. In my DR, so this was in 4th year, and it was the 19th of November. That is my birthday, by the way. My birthday is next Friday. Whoop whoop. But yeah, that was the first time we like actually did it. There was multiple times before where things got heated or, you know, frisky. Why am I so awkward? But yeah, no, the first like actual full-on time was on my birthday in 4th year, so. By the way, 4th year, we were all 18. 5th year, we're all 19, turning 20, so it's very much okay. By the way, 4th year, we were all 18. 5th year, we're all 19, turning 20, so it's very much okay. Has anyone kissed you whilst being with Draco? Yes. This again was like all of like the drama was mainly in 4th year, like all of like the frisky drama. I don't know if some of you are going to remember this, but in 4th year, me and Draco decided to take part in a spin the bottle game at a Slytherin common room party. Now, this was the worst mistake we had ever made in our entire relationship. This was the point that nearly broke us up. So I know that some of you are going to remember these story times. So anyway, playing spin the bottle, this shift experience was like recently after I scripted Theo Not into my DR, and he had a massive crush on me, and I didn't have a crush on him, but I was like, wow, you're lovely on the eyes, you're gorgeous. But yeah, so we were playing spin the bottle and it landed on Theo. So right, backtrack a little bit. I said to Draco, I don't want to play spin the bottle, I feel like it will cause issues. And he was like, oh, Cass, just lighten up, come on, we'll play. So I was a bit pissed off and I was like, fine, if we're gonna play, we're gonna play. And I'm gonna kiss whoever the fuck it lands on. And to my surprise, it landed on Theo, and people were already aware there was some sort of tension there between me and Theo. Span the ball, landed on Theo, and I sort of like hesitated because I knew the drama that it would have started. The lighting's gone really weird. And he then pulled me in, and I kid you not, this wasn't just a little like a light snog. This boy, my dad just arrived home, so I could just, this was like tongues, hair grabbing. I was overwhelmed, to say the least. Got a bit caught up in the moment, not gonna lie. Then pulled away. Then, I don't think I mentioned this in my TikTok, I pulled away. He then grabbed my head and pulled me back in. I feel like my dad's listening. Oh well. He then grabbed my head and pulled me back in for a second one, which I then pushed him off, and I was like, cool, we're done, fine. Turned to look at Draco, who was literally having a breakdown, essentially. Did I feel bad? Yes. I felt horrific. But let's go back. Whose idea was it to play the game? Draco's. So I remember when I posted that story time, I got a lot of hate being like, you're with Draco, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. But it was his idea to play the game. So that's his issue if he's got a problem with that. Anyway, after that, he then kissed Pansy. This is when me and Pansy did not get along. We hated each other. Yeah, he span, it landed on Pansy. They got off. I was sitting there essentially just watching soft porn. Like, it was ridiculous. That was such a long-winded answer. Has anyone kissed you while speaking with Draco? Yes, Theo has. Moving on. Can you have sex in your GR? Can you feel it? Yes. It feels very much like real life. It's essentially exactly the same. And it's scarily exactly the same. Like, you feel everything. Trust me. Who is the best kisser besides Draco? I haven't really kissed anybody else. I've kissed Draco and I've kissed Theo. I mean, Theo's a good kisser, but Draco is also just as amazing and I love him, so that passion is there. Do you find any of the girls in your DR attractive? Yes, they're all beautiful, but not in like a sexual way. In my other DRs, however, in my Twilight DR, I have stuff going on with Alice, which I don't really want to go too deep into. I'm like touching on it on my TikTok, but I'll talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, me and Alice are basically a thing in my Twilight DR, but in my Hogwarts DR, there's no girls that I am sexually attracted to, only because of the way that I've created relationships with them. So for example, like Pansy, I hated her guts originally because she was horrible to me, and now she's my best friend. And I feel like if I'm going to spill it, this is the perfect video to spill it in. Me and Pansy have got together, we have kissed, but it was totally like, I wasn't going to mention this. I feel like I don't know if I should. Oh, fuck, I'm just going to leave it in. It was in a Truth or Dare game. I was going to make a video about it on my TikTok, but then I didn't because I was scared of the hate I was going to get. Draco was totally fine with it. It was literally a Truth or Dare game, but there was no feelings there. It was all just for fun. But yeah, no feelings for anybody because Pansy's my best friend and I don't feel that way about her. Hermione pisses me off. Luna is gorgeous, but she's in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. There's never been any like sexual attraction there. Same with Ginny, gorgeous girl. But again, nothing there. She's also with Lavender anyway, so yeah. There's been no, not in my Hogwarts DR. Do you think you'll ever break up with Draco and go to Mateo? Honestly, no. I see my whole future of my DR being with Draco for like the foreseeable future. Like if it's not with Draco, then I'll be very, very shocked. I mean, my DR surprises me every single day. He might do something to royally piss me off one day to the point where I could never forgive him. But I really don't see that happening. Do you feel guilty when you're with Draco knowing you have a boyfriend? No, it's literally a totally separate reality. My boyfriend is totally fine with it. Like my CR boyfriend is totally fine with it. Like it's something that you'll have to, like, it's within the boundaries of your relationship. Like I said to my boyfriend, if he ever wanted to shift for somebody else, I would totally be willing to let him, obviously. But I think people have got to understand, like, I'm in a very healthy relationship in my CR, so stuff like this doesn't bother my boyfriend. And if it did, I would not do it. Like, I'm not that type of person. If it really did bother him, no way would I do it. But he okayed it from day one, so. Rank the boys in your DR from most to least attractive. Okay. Most attractive, Draco. Second, Mateo. Third, Blaze. Fourth, Cedric. Fifth, Theo. Sixth, Fred. Seventh, Harry. Eighth, Ron. Ninth, George. And you might say Fred and George look the same. They don't. They have their minor differences, and also their personalities take a massive toll on their like attractiveness. Do you know what I mean? Cedric's best friend, Jamie. Oh my god, Jamie. I feel like I never talk about Jamie because he's so irrelevant. Like, I don't really have many conversations with him. But he is fine. He is so attractive. So yeah, I'll put Jamie in this as well. But I'll put him at the bottom because I don't really know him. But yeah, I'd say that's my list. I feel like I'm missing someone really key. Who's hotter, Slytherin boys or Gryffindor boys? Slytherin boys. Slytherin boys all the way. Have you ever walked in on someone making out with someone or doing the deed? Yes, me and Draco have walked in on Blaze and Luna twice. One of the times was in Draco and Blaze's dorm, coming back from a little date we had at the Astronomy Tower. So they thought that we were going to be out for way longer than we actually were. We did come back like an hour earlier than like we told them. Not intentionally, we just got cold. And we walk into Luna literally riding Blaze. So we walked straight back out, and we went to the Gryffindor common room and hung out with Ron and Pansy. But yeah, so that was the first time we walked in on them. And then it happened again 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, but they were doing it on the astronomy tower. So we went up there because we love going, like, that's our favourite place to go. And I don't know why they did it up there so early on in the evening. Like, it was literally 9 p.m. So like anyone could have walked up there. They're proper frisky little devils, they are. They have no shame. And anyway, we walked up to, luckily they had a blanket over them, so we didn't see anything this time round. But Blaze just going at it. So we both laughed so loudly. They clocked us, laughed back at us, and just carried on. So we left. But yeah, walked in on Blaze and Luna twice, both in the space of 2 weeks. Walked in on Pansy and Ron before. This was in Pansy's dorm. Now Pansy's dorm is next door to my dorm, so that's why we go to each other's dorms so often, because we're literally next door neighbours. And she borrowed one of my homework books. All I wanted was my homework book back. I knocked, there was no answer, so I just went in, because me and Pansy have no boundaries. Like, we just walk in on each other. Like, the amount of times we've seen each other naked, like getting dressed, like, there's no shame between us two. So when she didn't answer, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna walk in. Wrong decision made by me. She was bent over her desk. So now I always triple knock. I'm like, Pansy, can I come in? But those are the only experiences I've had. So yeah. Any rumours about someone doing drugs and stuff? Yes. There's a lot of drug activity within my DR. I don't really take part in it, and that is genuinely honest. Like, in my CR and in my DR, I'm not fazed by drugs, doesn't interest me at all. But Fred and George are stoners. They don't do like hardcore drugs. They smoke weed and they occasionally take acid. But that's only at parties do they do acid and stuff, but they are like regular weed smokers. So that's them. A lot of the Hufflepuff lot, which I'm not friends with, like I couldn't even tell you all their names. But Cedric isn't actually a part of it either. Cedric isn't a massive druggie, but his friend group are. So his friend group and this like girl group from Hufflepuff are like known as like the druggies of Hogwarts. But yeah, apart from that, there's not like big like drug activity or anything like that. Who is the cheekiest person? Fred. Fred by miles. He's literally, he has no boundaries. Okay, this will be the last one that I answer because this video is already quite long. Who are Draco's exes? Now, so his main ex is Pansy. They were together for I think 8 months in 3rd year, which is why she was so like controlling over him when I first shifted, because she still had feelings for him but he didn't have feelings for her anymore. So Pansy was one of his exes. Had like girlfriends in younger years. Like I remember him saying in 1st year he was with a girl called Jasmine, she's just a Slytherin girl in our year. He also had a thing with a girl called Megan, who's a Hufflepuff. But these were all like silly younger relationships. They weren't like actual exes. So he said he's had 5 girlfriends. Jasmine and Megan, they were both in 1st year. Then he had, oh my god, I can't even remember their names. Like they were so relevant. He had Amy and it was her best friend. Hang on. It was Amy and, oh my god, what's her name? Maisie. Amy and Maisie. This was in 2nd year. He was with Amy for 3 months, broke up with Amy, got with her best friend Maisie the next day. They hate each other now. Draco broke up that friendship. But yeah, I remember him telling me about that. So yeah, he had those 4, and then he had Pansy, who was like his first official girlfriend. I think that was his first love. But yeah, those are Draco's exes, if any of you cared. And yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want a part 2, because I honestly have so much tea to spill. And leave any other questions you want answered in the comments, and then I'll use these questions for my part 2. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed finding out all the tea, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!